We tell stories of human. Way, not with artificial voices or AI slop. In the end, what's HFI without? Humanity? Subscribe to keep it this way. My name is Amir Sohal. Let's begin. The galaxy had always been vast, full of stars, planets, and civilizations, but none dared challenge the mighty Galactic Order. For centuries, countless worlds had obeyed their rules, their laws, and their iron-fisted control. But somewhere in a corner of the universe, the humans lived quietly on their planets, simple and unassuming, unaware that their lives would soon ignite a storm across the stars. It all began on the mining colony of Erythra Prime. The humans there had been quietly harvesting rare minerals, living in small cities under domes that shielded them from the harsh environment. Life was hard, but the people survived. The Galactic Order had never shown much interest in them. Until now. The Council of the Galactic Order sat in their enormous crystal floor hall, their pale faces lit by the glow of holographic displays. High Commander Sci-Fi spoke first. "They have grown bold," he said, his voice echoing coldly. "Reports show humans no longer hide. They have begun to build ships that could threaten our patrols. If we do not act, they might inspire others." Admiral Lyrith, a tall and thin alien with eyes like black holes, tapped the edge of the table. "Do we have proof?" "They are still primitive. Their weapons are basic. We have crushed more advanced species than this before breakfast." Zypher's clawed fingers hovered over a small glowing sphere. A projection appeared above it. A human child, barely 10, running through the rubble of her home while alien soldiers razed her village. Zypher's cold voice grew sharper. "This is not about weapons. This is about spirit. They survive. They resist. And resistance is dangerous." Far away, on Erythra Prime, the humans had no idea they were being watched. The colony had been quiet for weeks, until morning when the first attack came. Alien warships, sleek and dark, dropped from hyperspace like shadows falling across the sky. Human sensors screamed warnings, but it was too late. Explosions tore through the mining complexes, fire swallowing everything in their path. Panic spread through the streets. Men, women, and children ran, but the aliens were methodical, precise. Their orders were clear. Wipe out every human settlement in the sector. Among the chaos, a young human engineer named Mara Talis moved with unusual calm. She had always been different. Quick with machines, sharp with logic, and fearless in the face of danger. As buildings collapsed around her, she shouted to others, "Follow me! The tunnels! They can't reach us there." The humans ran, stumbling into the network of old tunnels beneath the colony. Smoke and fire followed above them, but underground they were safe, for now. Mara led a group of survivors to a small chamber where they could hide and plan. "We cannot fight them head-on," Mara said, her voice steady. "We have nothing they cannot destroy, but we do have brains, courage, and each other." Meanwhile, the aliens scoured the ruins above. Zypher's voice came through their comms. "No survivors. The humans must be erased." But as the aliens swept the colony, they did not notice the small drone Mara had secretly launched before escaping. It hovered above the wreckage, recording everything. Every explosion, every soldier, every act of cruelty. It was all being stored in its memory. Mara had a plan, though she did not fully understand the consequences yet. Humans had survived worse. Humans had adapted. And humans had a stubborn will that no alien could destroy. Far across the galaxy, the reports reached other colonies. Panic was spreading among human communities. But Mara's message, sent secretly through coded transmissions, was simple. Survive. Adapt. Watch. The first night in the tunnels, humans huddled together. Fear mixed with anger. Children cried softly. Mothers whispered prayers, and the men sharpened old tools. Mara moved among them, checking the injured and planning their next steps. She knew the aliens would not stop. This was just the beginning. That night, a strange silence fell over the surface. Not the silence of peace, but the silence of aftermath, a deadly calm. Above them, the alien warships hovered, scanning, searching, and killing. They believed they had won. But the humans below were already thinking. Mara stared at the drone's recordings. Her mind raced. The aliens were organized, powerful, and ruthless. But they were predictable. Patterns emerged in their attacks. Weak points reveal themselves. Mara whispered to herself. They think they have finished us, but they have only lit the fire. The next day, Mara led a small team to salvage parts from the destroyed colony. They moved carefully, avoiding alien patrols and automated drones left behind to finish the job. The humans found weapons, broken ships, and scattered technology, nothing that could match alien firepower. Yet, but Mara saw possibilities. She examined the weapons, repurposing alien tech into traps, using human ingenuity to turn nothing into something. Each night, they worked silently, slowly, building something that the aliens could not have imagined. Back in the council hall of the Galactic Order, Sci-Fi frowned at new reports. All human settlements in the sector have been targeted. Casualties are near total. Yet, we hear survivors. Lyrith sneered. Insignificant. Survivors are weak. They cannot resist us. The humans are finished. But Sci-Fi's sharp eyes betrayed a hint of doubt. He studied the reports of attacks that had failed, of colonies where humans had vanished before he could reach them. Something about their behavior. It was different, dangerous. Meanwhile, Mara and her group discovered something in the old tunnels, a hidden lab left by humans before the colony had been attacked. Inside were notes, experiments, and designs of machines far beyond what anyone had imagined. Mara's heart raced. This could change everything, she whispered. We can survive. We can fight back. We can make them regret this. For the first time, hope flickered among the survivors. It was not hope of victory. Not yet, but hope of survival. And in the galaxy, survival was the first step toward revenge. As days passed, humans began small raids. They sabotaged alien supply lines, left traps, and spread confusion. Every time the aliens struck, the humans had already moved unseen, unpredictable. Fear began to creep into the hearts of the Galactic Order. But the humans knew this was only the beginning. Mara had seen it in the drone recordings. The aliens believed humans were weak. They had made a terrible mistake. The night before their first major strike, Mara addressed her people. Her voice was steady, her eyes bright with determination. We have nothing but our minds, our courage, and each other. They thought they could erase us. They were wrong. We are not finished. We are awake. And soon, the galaxy will learn what humanity truly is. In the council hall of the Galactic Order, Sci-Fi received another report. It was small, almost insignificant. A destroyed supply ship, a lost patrol fleet. But the pattern was clear. Humans were fighting back. Sci-Fi leaned forward, his fingers tapping the table. They are evolving, faster than we predicted. The seeds of a storm had been planted. What the aliens thought was the end of humanity was only the beginning of something far worse for them. Above the ruins of Erythra Prime, smoke and fire painted the sky red. But deep underground, humans worked quietly, carefully planning, learning, and surviving. And one voice echoed among the tunnels, soft but certain. Certain, they woke a monster. And monsters are not so easily killed. The galaxy had seen the fall of humans, or so it believed. But the real story was just beginning. The unexpected turning point had arrived. One that no alien could have predicted. One that would awaken a force the galaxy would soon fear. And humanity, the supposedly extinct species, had only begun to rise from the ashes. The tunnels beneath Erythra Prime were quiet but alive. Every human moved with purpose. Every breath, every step, carried the weight of survival. The smoke and fire above had settled, leaving ruins where cities once stood. Yet, deep below, humans were not broken. They were sharpening their minds, their tools, and their resolve. Mara Talis, the young engineer who had led them to safety, walked through the hidden halls. Her eyes glimmered with determination, her mind racing with ideas. She stopped before a small group of survivors, holding pieces of alien technology she had salvaged during their last daring trip above ground. These are not just weapons, Mara said, her voice low and steady. They are keys. Keys to survival. Keys to revenge. The Galactic Order thinks they have destroyed us. They are wrong. They have only awakened something unstoppable. A murmur of agreement spread through the group. Even the youngest, barely 12 years old, nodded with understanding. They could feel it. A spark, a growing fire that no alien hand could snuff out. Over the next days, Mara and her team worked tirelessly. The humans in the tunnels were not warriors in the traditional sense. They had no fleets of warships or armies of soldiers. What they had was something far more dangerous: creativity, unpredictability, and sheer willpower. They began to repurpose the alien machines they had captured. Sensors that once hunted humans were turned into early warning systems. Weaponized drones became decoys, traps, and reconnaissance tools. Even the alien communication devices, meant to control and coordinate fleets, were hacked to send false signals, confusing the Galactic Order's patrols. But it was not just about technology. Mara knew that fear could be a weapon too. She gathered stories of human courage, of miners who survived deadly accidents, engineers who built life-saving machines from scraps, children who had outsmarted predators. Each story became a lesson in strategy, resilience, and cleverness. "We are small," Mara told them one evening, standing on a raised platform in the tunnel's central chamber. "We are few, but they will never see us coming. They will underestimate us, and that will be our greatest weapon." The first small strike came unexpectedly. Under the cover of night, humans launched a stolen supply ship toward an alien mining station orbiting a nearby planet. No one was killed. That was not their purpose. The ship's cargo, a carefully rigged bundle of explosives and holographic decoys, detonated near the station, causing chaos. Alien sensors detected the anomaly immediately. Panic spread among the officers on the station. They scrambled ships, sent patrols, and tried to trace the source. Yet as they moved, humans were already gone, hidden in the tunnels unseen, and laughing quietly at their cleverness. "This is only the beginning," Mara said, watching the holographic replay of the chaos. "They think they are hunting ghosts. But ghosts do not strike, humans do." Word of the strike spread across other human colonies. Many had thought all was lost, that the Galactic Order had finally succeeded in erasing them. But now, messages in secret channels carried hope. Humans were fighting back, and they were winning small battles. Meanwhile, in the high halls of the Galactic Order, alarmed officers gathered around Sci-Fi. "The humans are attacking again," Lyra said, his voice tight with disbelief. "They are organized. How is this possible? We destroyed their fleets, their colonies, everything." Sci-Fi's eyes narrowed. "They are not like the others. They do not fear death. They adapt. They learn. They strike where we least expect." Back in the tunnels, Mara's team had grown. Scientists, engineers, and even former soldiers from scattered colonies joined their cause. Each brought skills that made humans unpredictable. They began designing weapons and strategies that would turn the Galactic Order's strengths into weaknesses. One device, in particular, excited Mara. It was a small ship, hardly larger than Human House, rigged with alien stealth technology and powerful energy disruptors. It could slip past enemy patrols, disable weapons, and vanish before anyone knew it had attacked. "This," Mara said, "is the sword that will carve our path." The humans tested the ship in secret, launching it toward an abandoned orbital station. The mission succeeded beyond expectation. The station's defenses were neutralized, and the humans retrieved vital data about the Galactic Order's patrol routes and supply lines. But with every victory came risk. Scouts reported alien reinforcements in nearby systems. Fleets moving faster than before. Mara knew they could not stay in one place too long. The humans needed mobility, secrecy, and ingenuity, all in perfect balance. To prepare, Mara organized her people into small teams. Each team had a specific mission: reconnaissance, sabotage, diversion, or technological research. Humans became shadows in the galaxy, striking with precision and vanishing without a trace. The aliens, confident in their supremacy, were beginning to feel the first cracks of doubt. High Commander Sci-Fi convened the council again. "Humans are attacking with strategy," he said, his voice echoing in the crystal chamber. "We have underestimated them. But how? They have no fleets of their own, no real armies. Yet they strike where it hurts most. We cannot find them before they vanish." Admiral Lyrith frowned. "Perhaps they are receiving aid from another species?" Sci-Fi shook his head slowly. "No, this is not foreign assistance. This is human ingenuity. They are learning faster than we imagined." Meanwhile, Mara's group discovered something remarkable in the ruins of a nearby colony. old alien blueprints that had been left behind, never fully understood or used. Mara studied them obsessively, translating alien symbols into human understanding. She realized that these plans could be turned into a new type of weapon, one that the aliens would never expect. This could change everything, Mara whispered to her team. We can fight them and win. But it was not just about weapons or technology. Mara knew that humans had another advantage: emotion. Where aliens relied on logic, humans relied on instinct, courage, and willpower. They could take risks that no alien would dare. And sometimes, risks were exactly what won battles. The humans planned their next strike carefully. A small fleet of alien ships was preparing to raid another human settlement. Mara chose a strike team of 10, small and agile, using the stealth ship she had perfected. They approached the alien fleet undetected, waiting for the right moment. When the time came, humans struck like lightning. The stealth ship disabled the flagship shields, sent decoys to confuse the other vessels, and escaped before the aliens realized what happened. The fleet was thrown into chaos. For the first time, alien soldiers felt fear. Back in the tunnels, humans celebrated quietly, knowing that victory was small but meaningful. Mara addressed them again, her voice filled with pride. "We are few," she said, "but we are awake. We are not prey. We are hunters now, and the galaxy will remember our fury." The Galactic Order could not ignore humans any longer. Zypher's reports were filled with questions and doubts. "How do they do this?" he asked aloud, pacing the chamber. "They should be extinct, yet they grow stronger every day. Something is coming, something we cannot predict." Mara, deep in the tunnels, did not know the full extent of her actions. She did not know how far the storm would reach. But she understood one thing. Humans had been cornered, underestimated, and slaughtered, and now they were awake, angry, and unstoppable. The humans worked tirelessly, preparing for the challenges ahead. Each day brought new discoveries, new strategies, and new hope. They had no choice. Survival was no longer enough. They had to fight, to reclaim their place in the galaxy, to show that humans, even when declared extinct, could rise. And somewhere in the high towers of the Galactic Order, Zypher stared at the reports, his eyes cold but uneasy. The humans were no longer a problem to be ignored. They were a threat, growing stronger, smarter, and more daring with every passing day. The galaxy had assumed humanity was finished. It had assumed that their colonies destroyed, their cities burned, and their people hunted. Humans would vanish quietly, but they were wrong. Humans were not prey. Humans were predators. And the storm had only just begun. The void of space stretched endlessly, black and silent. Stars glittered like distant promises, but in this darkness, danger lurked. For centuries, the humans had been considered weak, primitive, and easy prey. But now, hidden among the shadows of space, they were no longer prey. They were predators. Mara Talis stood on the bridge of the stealth ship, her hands gripping the control panel. Around her, 10 of the most skilled humans in the galaxy waited, each focused, each ready. They were about to make history. This would be humanity's first strike against the Galactic Order's fleet, and would be unlike anything the aliens had ever faced. Status report. Mara demanded. Yarrick, the former pilot turned tactical officer, tapped the console. Sensors show the enemy fleet ahead. For cruisers, 2 destroyers, and a command ship. They are moving toward the neutral sector, likely unaware of our presence. Mara's eyes narrowed. Good. That means they are confident, careless. And confidence is their weakness. The humans moved silently. Their stealth ship, small and almost invisible, glided past asteroid fields and to the shadows of gas clouds. They were ghosts, undetectable to even the most advanced sensors of the Galactic Order. But ghosts do not strike blindly. Mara had studied the enemy fleet for days, analyzing every movement, every pattern, every flaw. As they approached the center of the formation, Mara's voice cut through the tense silence. Remember, our goal is disruption, not destruction, at first. Show them we are here, that humans are not weak. Confuse them, make them doubt their control. The humans nodded, each understanding their role. Some were engineers, ready to hack and disrupt alien systems. Others were fighters, prepared to use weapons repurposed from stolen alien tech. And Mara would lead the strike herself, piloting the ship into the heart of the enemy formation. The first move was subtle but deadly. Small drones launched from the stealth ship, buzzing like invisible wasps. They attacked communication arrays on the destroyers, causing confusion. Alien officers shouted orders, but the signals were jumbled, command arriving too late or to the wrong ships. Chaos began to ripple through the fleet. Mara's team watched the displays, eyes wide. "It's working," whispered Lyra, the team's engineer. "They don't understand what's happening." Then came the second phase. Mara activated the energy disruptors on the stealth ship. A silent pulse radiated outward, disabling shields on 2 cruisers. In moments, they were vulnerable. The humans did not fire directly. Instead, they launched holographic decoys, dozens of fake ships appearing around the cruisers, each mimicking the stealth ship signals. The aliens scrambled, attacking phantoms that were nowhere. "Look at them panic," Mara said, a hint of a smile crossing her face. "They think we are everywhere, but we are nowhere." The alien command ship realized something was wrong. Its sensors had picked up the disruptions. High Commander Zethar, a tall alien with scales glinting like metal, growled. "Identify the source. Destroy them before they spread." But the humans were already moving. They slipped through gaps in the formation, striking again and vanishing before the aliens could respond. One of Mara's team, a young woman named Sarah, hacked into the enemy's navigation systems. Ships collided, weapons misfired, and panic spread like wildfire. The humans were not just fighting. They were rewriting the rules of battle. The tension on the stealth ship was immense. Every second counted. Every decision mattered. Mara guided the ship toward the command ship, the heart of the alien fleet. She had calculated the risk. If they were discovered too early, the entire team could be destroyed. But if they succeeded, the blow would echo across the galaxy. "Engage stealth bypass," Mara ordered. The ship shimmered, disappearing completely from all sensors for a brief moment. The team held their breath as they moved directly into the command ship's blind spot, a place no alien expected any ship to enter. Then, with precision, they struck. Mara deployed a cluster of energy disruptors directly onto the command ship's main systems. Shields flickered, engines sputtered, and the ship's controls became erratic. For the first time, the aliens realized that humans were not just clever, they were dangerous. "Report. What is happening?" Zethar shouted. His officers scrambled, trying to regain control, but it was too late. The humans were ghosts impossible to track, and yet their attacks were devastating. Meanwhile, Mara's team worked in perfect coordination. Yarrick piloted the stealth ship through narrow gaps, avoiding enemy fire. Sarah hacked communications, ensuring that false messages and decoys kept the aliens in chaos. Lyra prepared miniature drones, launching them into engine vents and weapon ports, causing malfunctions and small explosions. The humans moved like a single organism, every action calculated, every strike meaningful. As the command ship struggled to regain control, smaller cruisers and destroyers began to retreat, confused and damaged. The first major human strike was a success, a warning to the galaxy. Humans were no longer victims. Humans were a force to be reckoned with. Back on Erythra Prime, underground, other humans watched the strike unfold via hacked communication relays. Cheers erupted, but Mara raised her hand. "Not yet. We must remain hidden. Today was a strike. Tomorrow, they will come looking. And we must be ready." The aliens, humiliated and enraged, began to analyze the attack. Zethar's voice trembled with fury. "Humans, how? They should be extinct. They should have no fleet, no strategy, no anything. And yet they strike. They strike and disappear." In the tunnels, Mara studied the aftermath. The humans had inflicted damage far greater than anyone expected. Ships were crippled, morale shattered, and confusion spread to the enemy fleet. But Mara knew this was only the beginning. "We have made them afraid," Mara told her team. "Afraid of ghosts, of shadows, of humans who do not fight like they expect. But fear alone will not win. We must plan, adapt, and strike again." The next days were a whirlwind. Humans repaired and upgraded their stolen technology, analyzed alien responses, and prepared for the next strike. Every small victory brought new hope, but also new risks. The Galactic Order would adapt. They would hunt humans relentlessly. Yet Mara had already foreseen this. She began planning multiple strikes simultaneously, teaching humans to split into small teams, to hit targets unpredictably, and to always vanish before the enemy could retaliate. They were not just fighting for survival. They were teaching the galaxy a lesson. Humans could never be controlled, never be underestimated, and never be destroyed. The humans' ingenuity became legendary. They adapted alien weapons to function in ways no alien engineer had imagined. They built drones that could fly undetected through enemy ships, disable engines silently, and relay information back to the tunnels. They mapped every patrol route, studied every weak point, and exploited every mistake. High Commander Zithar could not understand it. "They are ghosts," he whispered to his council. "Invisible, unpredictable, deadly. And each time we attack, they're already gone. How can one species be so clever?" But Mara and her team knew the truth. Cleverness alone did not make humans dangerous. It was courage, willpower, and the refusal to accept defeat. The aliens had declared them extinct. They had committed genocide, burned colonies, and hunted survivors. But humanity's spirit could not be erased. And now, that spirit had become a weapon. The first strike was more than a battle. It was a declaration. Humanity would fight back. Humanity would survive. Humanity would awaken the fury that the galaxy had never seen before. As Mara looked out at the stars, she whispered, "They thought we were finished. They thought they could erase us. But we are awake, and they will learn, soon enough, that humans do not die quietly." The galaxy had been warned. Humans were rising, and the storm had only just begun. The galaxy had never seen anything like it. For centuries, the Galactic Order had ruled without challenge, their fleets moving like unstoppable shadows through the stars. Worlds had obeyed, colonies had fallen, and civilizations had crumbled under their control. But now, something was different. The humans, a species long thought extinct, had struck. Their stealth ships, their clever attacks, and their unpredictability had shattered the illusion of order. Panic was spreading through the alien fleets like wildfire. High Commander Zithar paced the bridge of his flagship, his scaled hands clenching in frustration. Reports streamed in, each worse than the last. Supply fleets destroyed, patrols crippled, communication arrays hacked. The humans were everywhere and nowhere at the same time. "They are ghosts," his lieutenant hissed. "We cannot find them. We cannot stop them. And every attack, every strike, makes them stronger." Zithar growled. "No species should have this power. No species should survive what we have done to them. Yet they rise, and with each rise, they take more than we expect." Far across the galaxy, humans were spreading like a shadow across systems. Mara Talis had grown into a symbol of hope, courage, and ingenuity. The humans in the tunnels of Erythra Prime and other secret colonies had formed networks, small cells of fighters, engineers, and strategists coordinating strikes without leaving a trace. Humans had supplied depots, sabotaged hypergates, and disrupted patrol routes. Entire alien fleets found themselves delayed, confused, or damaged before they even reached the front lines. The Galactic Order's confidence, once unshakable, began to crumble. The chaos was not limited to battle. Fear became a weapon. Every time an alien ship reported a human attack, other commanders hesitated. Fleets that once moved with precision now second-guessed every order. Even seasoned officers began to doubt the stability of their fleets. In the tunnels beneath Erythra Prime, Mara studied reports from every human cell. The humans were growing bolder. Small fleets of stolen ships, rigged with clever modifications, struck planetary defenses, sending messages of fear and confusion. Mara knew the Galactic Order could not continue like this for long. "We are not fighting just ships or soldiers," Mara told her team. "We are fighting fear, hesitation, and pride. Every strike teaches them. Humans cannot be controlled. Humans cannot be broken. And every time they panic, our power grows." One operation, in particular, became a turning point. A convoy of alien warships, carrying critical supplies to the front lines, moved through a dense asteroid belt. Humans intercepted them using a small fleet of stealth ships, drones, and decoys. In a calculated strike, they disabled engines, misdirected sensors, and caused ships to collide with asteroids. By the time the aliens realized what had happened, half of the convoy was destroyed. Casualties were massive, and fear rippled through every fleet receiving the report. Mara's team celebrated quietly, knowing that the galaxy was beginning to change. But chaos was not without danger. The Galactic Order began to respond aggressively. Entire fleets were sent to hunt human cells, patrols doubled, and advanced trackers were deployed. Every strike by humans was now riskier than before. One mistake could mean total annihilation. Mara understood this. The humans could not fight head-on. They had to be clever, unpredictable, and fast. She began training small teams to operate independently, strike in rapid succession, and vanish before the aliens could respond. Humans became shadows of the galaxy, a threat that could not be pinned down. Meanwhile, the Galactic Order's panic was reaching the highest levels. Zethar convened the Council of Commanders in the Capital Fleet, a massive station orbiting a central star. Humans are everywhere, he said, his voice tense. We cannot find them. We cannot destroy them. And if we continue like this, our fleets will be scattered, our colonies vulnerable, and our control lost. An officer spoke hesitantly. Perhaps we should negotiate, High Commander. Maybe we can reach them. Zethar slammed his clawed hand on the table. Negotiate? With ghosts? With monsters we cannot see? No. The humans are not a species to negotiate with. They are a force to fear. And fear is now ours. Across the galaxy, humans continued to adapt. They captured alien ships and turned them into mobile bases, teaching new cells in secret how to fight, sabotage, and survive. Mara knew that the human strength was not in their numbers, but in their creativity, courage, and unpredictability. One night, Mara gathered her team for a briefing. We have disrupted their fleets. We have crippled their supply lines. But they will retaliate. They will come hunting. And when they do, we must be ready to strike harder, smarter, and faster than ever. The next operation targeted a major communications hub of the Galactic Order, a massive orbital station, heavily defended, transmitted orders to fleets across several systems. If humans destroyed it, the entire network would be thrown into confusion. Mara divided her team into 3 units. One would hack and disable communications. Another would create diversions with drones and decoys. And the third would strike the station's energy cores to temporarily disable defenses. Precision, timing, and coordination were critical. Failure was not an option. The operation began in the silent void of space. Mara's stealth ship led the first unit, gliding past patrols undetected. Drones swarmed the station, jamming sensors and sending false alerts. The second unit unleashed decoy signals, making the aliens fire at phantoms. Chaos erupted. Inside the communications hub, alien officers scrambled. Commands were delayed, weapons misfired, and panic spread. The station's energy cores flickered as Mara's team deployed their final strike. Within minutes, the hub was disabled. Fleets across multiple systems received corrupted orders. Some retreated in confusion. Others froze, unsure of what to do. Back in the tunnels, humans celebrated quietly. This was more than a strike. It was proof. Humans could disrupt the mightiest empire in the galaxy with clever planning and courage. Mara addressed her people. The galaxy will remember this night, she said. We have shown that humans are not just survivors. We are disruptors. We are hunters. We are awake, and chaos is our ally. The Galactic Order, however, was far from defeated. High Commander Zethar's fleet suffered a devastating blow, but he refused to admit defeat. They think they can outsmart us, he growled. But we have resources. We have soldiers. We will adapt, and we will crush them before this becomes a plague across the stars. But Mara already knew the truth. Humans were not just fighting battles. They were rewriting the rules of war. Every move, every strike, every act of courage spread fear through the alien fleets. Chaos was no longer a threat to humans. It was their weapon. As weeks passed, humans continued their strikes. Supply lines were disrupted. Patrols were ambushed, and entire fleets hesitated to move. Civilian colonies under alien control began to whisper about human ghosts, unpredictable strikes, and unstoppable courage. The legend of humanity was growing. Mara stood on the bridge of her stealth ship, looking out at the stars. "They thought they could erase us," she whispered. "They thought humanity was finished. But they forgot one thing. Humans do not die quietly. And now, the galaxy will learn to fear us." And fear was spreading, faster than any weapon, faster than any fleet. Chaos reigned in the Galactic Order. Humans had become more than a threat. They had become a force that the galaxy could not ignore, a storm that would not stop until every world knew their name. The galaxy was tense, holding its breath. Months of chaos had left the Galactic Order fractured, confused, and desperate. Fleets hesitated in space, patrols doubled back, and colonies once loyal to the Empire whispered to humans. Ghosts that could strike anywhere, vanish without a trace, and leave ruin in their wake. High Commander Zethar paced the command deck of his flagship. The map of the galaxy glowed with red lights marking lost fleets, destroyed supply lines, and crippled stations. He bared his teeth in anger. "They are everywhere," shouted an officer. "Everywhere we look, humans strike. They are no longer a species. They are a plague." Zethar slammed his clawed fist on the table. "Plague or not, we will end them. Gather every fleet. Block every system. Hunt every colony. Humanity will be finished, or the galaxy will burn." But the humans were ready. Deep in hidden tunnels and secret bases, Mara Talis prepared the final strike. Unlike previous attacks, this was not a small raid or sabotage. This was a confrontation at the heart of the Galactic Order. The capital fleet, stationed near the core world of Xyrith Prime, fully armed, fully prepared, or so the aliens thought. Mara addressed her team, now hundreds strong across multiple stealth ships, modified drones, and repurposed alien vessels. "Today," she said, voice steady and filled with fire, "we face a fleet that declared us extinct. They think we are finished. They are wrong. We are not just fighting to survive. We are fighting to claim our place in the galaxy. Remember creativity, courage, and speed. We strike smart. We strike together. And we will win." The humans launched in perfect synchronization. Stealth ships slipped past sensors. Drones moved like shadows. And decoys confused the alien fleet's every response. Mara piloted the lead ship herself, weaving through asteroid belts and nebula clouds, positioning for maximum impact. The first wave hit. Drones disabled shields on the outer cruisers, while holographic decoys forced the aliens to fire at phantoms. Mara's team struck at engines, weapons arrays, and communication systems. Within moments, the outer perimeter of the capital fleet was crippled. Zethar's voice thundered through the command channels. "Identify the attackers. Target them. Stop them now." But the humans were already inside, moving like a living shadow through the fleet. Mara deployed a swarm of drones into the command ship itself, infiltrating engine rooms and weapon systems. The flagship shuddered as systems went offline, chaos spreading from the core outward. The alien officers were panicked. Orders contradicted orders. Weapons misfired. Ships collided. Zethar's fleet, once the image of perfection and discipline, was crumbling from within. Mara did not hesitate. She piloted her stealth ship through the main battle corridor, reaching the flagship's bridge. The humans struck with precision, disabling weapon systems and communications. In minutes, the once mighty capital ship was powerless, surrounded by chaos. But Mara's team had more than destruction in mind. This was a lesson. They wanted the Galactic Order to understand that humans were not just survivors. Humans were unstoppable. Using hacked communication channels, Mara broadcast a message to the entire fleet. "You declared us extinct. You burned our colonies. You hunted our people. But humanity survives. Humanity fights. Humanity will never bow. Today, the galaxy learns the price of underestimating us." The message spread like fire. Across countless worlds, alien fleets hesitated, some retreating, others refusing to fire. Fear gripped every officer, every soldier. Humanity had shattered their confidence, proving that cleverness, courage, and willpower were more powerful than fleets and firepower. In the tunnels and bases, humans watched the broadcast with awe. They had struck not just ships, but hearts. The fear of humanity had spread across the galaxy. Mara smiled, knowing this was a turning point. The final assault began. Humans used every trick, every strategy they had developed over months of struggle. Stealth ships slipped past defenses, drones disabled critical systems, and decoys created illusions of massive fleets where only a few ships existed. The Galactic Order could not respond. Every countermeasure was anticipated, every move countered. On the flagship, Zethar realized the truth too late. Humanity was not just clever, they were unstoppable. He bared his teeth, a sound of frustration and disbelief, as Mara's team disabled the last of the ship's engines. Outside, human ships surrounded the flagship. The rest of the alien fleet, seeing the flagship disabled and chaos spreading, began to retreat. Morale collapsed. Commanders argued, fleets scattered, and colonies once loyal to the Galactic Order began to rise in secret, inspired by humans' defiance. Mara and her team did not destroy the flagship entirely. That was not necessary. The message was clear. Humanity had survived, humanity had fought back, and humanity could never be erased. In the aftermath, humans captured critical data from the flagship, learning alien strategies, technologies, and communications. With this knowledge, they could anticipate future attacks, continue striking with precision, and prepare for the galaxy's next challenge. Back on Erythra Prime, Mara addressed the assembled humans. Hundreds of faces, young and old, worn by hardship but bright with hope, looked to her. "We have done the impossible," she said. "They called us extinct. They burned our colonies. They hunted our people. And yet, we are here. We have shown the galaxy that humans cannot be controlled, cannot be broken, and cannot be erased. This is our victory. But it is only the beginning. Humanity will rise stronger, smarter, and bolder than ever before. The galaxy will remember our name." Across the stars, the legend of humanity grew. Tales of clever attacks, stealth strikes, and unmatched courage spread from one colony to another, reaching even worlds never touched by the Galactic Order. Humans had become more than a species. They were now a symbol of resistance, ingenuity, and hope. Zethar, humiliated and defeated, retreated with the remnants of his fleet. His empire was not destroyed entirely, but was fractured, weakened, and shaken to its core. He had underestimated humans, and the cost had been catastrophic. Meanwhile, humans were already planning the next steps. They repaired stolen ships, trained new cells, and prepared for the galaxy to respond. Mara knew that this victory, while monumental, was not the end, but it proved one undeniable truth. Humanity could not be erased. Humanity could not be stopped. Humanity had awakened. In the tunnels of Erythra Prime, Mara stood on a platform, looking at the stars. Smoke and fire from the ruins above reminded her of the cost, but also the resilience of her people. She whispered softly, almost to herself. "They called us extinct. They thought we would vanish quietly. But humans rise. And now, the galaxy will never be the same." The storm that began in a small, hidden colony had swept across the stars. Chaos had become humanity's weapon, courage their shield, and ingenuity their sword. The Galactic Order had learned the hardest lesson of all: never underestimate humans. As ships moved silently across the galaxy, humans in every hidden base prepared for the next challenge, knowing this victory was a first step towards something far greater. The galaxy had seen the rise of a species that should have been destroyed, but instead had become unstoppable, unbreakable, and unforgettable. And Mara, standing in the quiet of the tunnels, felt it deep in her bones. Humanity had declared its place in the stars, and no force, no empire, and no army could take it away. The galaxy would never forget. Humanity had survived. Humanity had fought. Humanity had won. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to subscribe to the channel and support us. It really helps us grow and bring more videos like this. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.